Hey guys, sorry I'm late on this Vanderpump Rules recap. I completely forgot about it, but you know what? The episode pissed me off that much. Lisa Vanderpump, the geriatric pick me, of course, has to go to bat for Tom Sandoval to try to push him back into the group of people who can't stand him because he hurt them so much. She will always go to bat for men, trust and believe. I don't think she would have done the same for Raquel or Rachel, I should say. But let's get into the episode from the very top. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, by the way. And let's go. So in the first scene, Lala and Sheena visit Lisa Vanderpump's home, and LVP tells them to ease up on Tom Sandoval because he's in the dark place. And the girls say, listen, we would go easy on him if he weren't so like proud. He keeps on like acting like he's this, super villain or whatever, and it's ridiculous. He needs to humble himself. And as usual, Lala somehow manages to find a way to flip the conversation into something about herself than being a mistress for Randall. She's like, I don't want to see someone like tarred and feathered. I was tarred and feathered when I was thoughtin' and bopping with Randall. Girl, no one was talking about Randall. Why do you always have to bring things back to him? That man lives in your brain rent free. Lala says that she wants to let go of anger in her life and that she too doesn't want anybody to wear a scarlet letter the way that she always had to. Wow, you guys, it really seems like she and Sheena genuinely want to forgive Tom. Sheena says that Tom is one of the best friends that she's ever had. I was like, girl, like, didn't he tell you last season he barely knew you? He was like, why are you crying so much? Like, we were like acquaintances, not friends. And now here you are crying over this man and him being your bestie. Like, Jesus, be some dignity. Stand up, girl. And Lala being just so sympathetic towards Tom was really strange to me. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone because she was going on him harder than anybody, harder than Ariana. You would think that Tom cheated on her. She was like, he's a dangerous man. He's a narcissist. He's evil, blah, blah, blah. And now all of a sudden you want to be friendly with him? I don't get it. Now, they tell Lisa that they're scared that they'll lose Ariana if they stop bullying Tom. And it's like, very, very interesting. Anyway, James hosts a pool party to christen his new pool, and it looked like a lot of fun. It was sweet of him to make a something about her pool floaty. Like, he just put the sign on like a floaty that looked like a storefront or something like that. It was adorable. Meanwhile, Tom Sandoval is alone cold plunging with Billy Lee to punish himself for being a POS. He bitches about how hard it is to be an outsider in this group of friends for the first time, and he claims that it's the people closest to you who hurt you the most, which is like, they're not hurting you like that, Tom. They're protecting themselves after the way that you recklessly betrayed so many people in this group. Try again. Meanwhile, at the pool party, Lala pulls James's girlfriend Allie to the side and they start talking about James's sobriety journey and how like great he is sober. And then the producers, who I love, the shady producers, cut to James being excited to drink weed soda. It was absolutely hilarious to watch. I guess that's what they call a California sober. Whatever. I don't know why Lala wants to make James's sobriety like her business and her storyline. Like, she's always been so obsessed with him. It's very strange to me. I don't know why his girlfriends always entertain her and all of her obsessive questions about him and his life. Like, I would shut that down. Like, girl, go worry about that loser you decided to lay up with for like 5 years. Leave my man alone. Not that I'd ever get with James, but still, just weird. Anyway, Lala then heads out to talk to Tom Shorts about his beef with Ariana and how she, wants to let go of anger and stop being angry on behalf of other people. And she apologizes to Tom for dragging him last year, and he apologizes to her for making fun of her blown up lips. And so Tom tells her that he would love for her to try to sit down with Tom Sandoval at some point too, because he's family to the group, which, oh my God, at this point, I'm like, it's happening. It's happening. I think they really will somehow manage to at least slightly bring Tom Sandoval back into the group and the fold. And, listen, I think that could save the season, because all of this divided stuff isn't really working out that well. But what about in real life? I think it's kind of like, I wouldn't hang out with a Tom Sandoval. And I feel like these people in real life wouldn't hang out with a Tom Sandoval either, Why does Billy Lee always look like a deer in headlights? Every time the camera like pans to her, she's like this. Tom could be talking, she's like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're so right. And I don't want to have my eyebrows up like that. I don't want to wrinkle, but like, it's always the same look. It's just kind of like strange to me. So Tom Sandoval claims to miss Raquel, and we flash back to him claiming that he loves her. And he's like, I'm saving myself for Rachel, which is just stop. Stop. You're such a troll. We saw you thoughting and bopping with other women while she was in rehab. And he also pretends to not understand why she suddenly stopped talking to him. But we all know, based off of her Rachel Goes Rogue podcast, that Rachel had to stop talking to Tom because Tom was trying to convince her to leave the rehab. That was the only thing saving her life at that moment. She's like, wow, Lala was right. This is a dangerous person. And so she stopped speaking to him, which was the best thing that she could have done for herself, to be honest with you. Anyway, back to the pool party. Sheena tells Ariana about her meeting with LVP, and Ariana is super snippy about it and refuses to ease up on Tom Sandoval, which I get. Tom did her super dirty, and I would be super vindictive about it too, although I still believe that she got her karma at the end of the day, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Sheena starts crying about how Tom was such a good friend to her. You know, the poor thing is caught between her besties. But again, Tom pretty much said he didn't know you a la Mariah Carey last year. So I don't know why you're crying about trying to be friends with him. Like, or aren't you hurt by that, Sheena? Like, what? The whole thing is just so weird. Like, how desperate for friends can you be? Ariana tells Sheena that all of this, like, Tom pity me stuff is fake and manipulative. And I think she's right. Tom just wants to be invited to parties again. I don't think he genuinely cares about these people. And now, in light of the scandal, aka Tom cheating on two long-term partners like this, you know, towards the ends of their relationships. First it was Kristen, now it was the Ariana thing. I'm like, I don't think Tom Sandoval is genuinely capable of caring for anybody other than himself. I don't even think he cares about Schwartz like that. I think he just knows that Schwartz rides for him, perhaps even rides him. Oh, who said that? And that's why he keeps him around, you know, nothing more, nothing less. Now, the next day, we see James heading over to Lala's house to have a discussion, and he tells her that he got sober because, of course, as usual, she's prying for information about that. And he says, listen, I got sober because of the scandal. I was just so obsessively, like, hateful towards Tom Sandoval and towards Rachel for like the affair and the stuff that they were doing, and it just got to be too much. Ali is like, why are you so passionate about this? Aren't you in a relationship with me right now? Like, who cares about this stuff, you know? And so James would just get really, really angry. He would be yelling and stuff and just fighting with Ali a lot. And she packed up her things, she packed up her cats, and she left. She said, I'm not coming back unless you're sober. And so, as usual, James gets sober for a woman. Listen, James is one of those men who can't do anything without a woman. Like, he cannot be alone at all. He wouldn't be sober for his own health, which is something he clearly needs. He needs to have a woman telling him that she's going to leave him for him to do something that is actually like genuinely necessary for his health, you know? And I don't know, I'm kind of sad for guys like that. Like, he's so scared to be alone that all you have to do is threaten to leave him and he'll act right. So anyway, James says that he wants his sobriety to be a forever thing. And Lala tells him that she's going to keep his secret safe with her. And it's like, well, what about me? I'm not promising to keep the secret safe. I'm gonna blab about this on YouTube. So anyway, we get over to Tom Schwartz's house, and Joe comes over to cut his hair, and then Sandoval pops in too. So they all just sit around and chat. Joe kept trying to chime in, but they just were ignoring her, and then the cameras just like cut off her mic for one of the things. It was kind of funny. And it turns out that everybody's going to that lake house thing. Remember, LVP is opening a new restaurant on a lake. Is it Lake Tahoe or something like that? And Schwartz is charged with putting together a group trip for the cast. And they're not really feeling the idea of Tom Sandoval being there. But listen, it seems like everyone's going except Ariana and Katie. And then we learned at James's pool party that he's fine with being around Sandoval, but it's not someone that he would be like inviting to go out with him places, you know? So the Toms hope that Brock, Sheena, Lala, and James can be friendly with Tom while they're up there. Listen, I don't know. I really feel like this is where things might take a turn without Ariana and Katie to like interject on the Toms' like mind games and manipulations on the rest of the cast. Like, Sheena seems desperate to be friends with Sandoval again, and without those girls being there, I think she's actually gonna cross over. Now, Tom Schwartz is tired of having to clean up after Sandoval and how arrogant his personality is. So he tells Tom Sandoval to be humble and apologetic when the people confront him about his actions. And then Tom Sandoval's like, yeah, I'll apologize for making them so much money and providing them with so much free content. And it's like, dude, this is why people don't want to be around you. Why do you act like that? Like he's just so arrogant, this guy. He's such a prick. He truly is. And this is why I'm so irritated seeing like LVP bat for this guy. He doesn't care about doing anything to anybody. He really doesn't. And now to see Lala and Sheena about to go and play into this stuff is just so like embarrassing for them. It's like, come on, girls, stay strong. Like, ice him the F out. Screw this guy. And then towards the end of the episode, we get a double date between Sheena, Brock, James, and Allie. And they talk about Tom coming to the lake house and like the mob mentality that had been carrying on for months now. And they were very mature and obviously getting sick of the whole Team Ariana thing. They just kind of want to like be neutral at this point. So again, it's looking more and more likely that Sandoval is going to be accepted back into the fold, and that Ariana and Katie are kind of going to be on the side, like just bitching about it in the future. And it's like, listen, there's power in numbers. It's everyone versus you two. And, that might just flip the dynamics against the two of them. Not that I'm saying they should be friendly with him. I think they're right to continue to want to ice this, like, narc out. So anyway, they end the conversation at the table by saying that they want to acknowledge that Tom Sandoval did something wrong and then move forward with empathy. The LVP speech really got into their heads. So Sheena, she tells James, because James is like, oh, Lisa told me she wants to see me tomorrow. Like, I'm nervous. And so Sheena's like, yeah, she's probably going to tell you the same thing to ease up off of Tom Sandoval. So we get James going to Vanderpump Dogs. Is that show still on? I know there was a dog spinoff, but I don't know like how long it lasted or anything like that. This is the second time we're seeing Vanderpump Dogs in this season already. So I'm like, they're really promoting that. So he goes there, and guess what? His dog, Graham, that he shared with Rachel, is there waiting for him. It turned out that Rachel had surrendered the dog after several biting incidences. It got put into foster care, kept on biting, and then they send it to Vanderpump Dogs, where Lisa's like, wait a minute, that's James's dog. And so she hit up James to go and get Graham. But to be honest with you guys, it didn't seem like Graham really remembered him like that. Like, he wasn't like, frantically like trying to like lick him or jump all over him or anything like that, like a dog normally would after not having seen you for such an extended period of time. I was like, that's rather interesting, but I digress. Anyway, you guys, that does it. A recap of what went down on Vanderpump Rules season 11, episode 4. As usual, I'm more excited to hear what you have to say about everything, so please make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll chat. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Bye now.